Hi everyone, I'm here with a review on the Under Armour Anatomix Spawn Low. It is obviously the low top version of the popular mid or high, whatever you want to call it, that was worn by guys like Steph Curry and Kemba Walker and Raymond Felton. I think Steph Curry is starting to wear another shoe, Under Armour shoe, in the playoffs now, but he had several player editions that sold out really quickly. Wish I could get my hands on one of those. Anyway, so with Curry's development in the league and his popularity rising, it's brought more attention to Under Armour's basketball footwear, which I think is a very good thing, because these are, in my opinion, a very good quality product. This video, I don't know how long this video is going to be because I'm recording it for the first time now, but just to give you the cliff notes if you don't want to watch the whole 10 to 15 minutes, whatever it's going to be. I think they're a very good shoe. Traction's good, cushioning's good, they're comfortable, they look good, they fit well, they fit true to size in my opinion. So if that's, if you're just looking for the bottom line right off the bat, they are very good. I would get them, absolutely. For $100 retail price, I would definitely get them. And so for those of you who just want that, basic information, yes, I think they're great basketball shoes. And then those of you who want more details, you can stick around and I'll get into all of the extra stuff, the more detailed information. So I haven't worn the mid, so I'm gonna make this video for people who haven't worn the mid. And again, for people who have worn the mid, I don't know when what the differences will be, obviously, aside from the collar height here, and then maybe like the number of eyelets. I haven't counted the eyelets in the mid, but obviously that would be a big difference. But I don't know if there's going to be any substantial difference in the cushioning, because some shoes, when they make the low top version, like Nike's, the Hyperdunks or something, they'll change the cushioning setup. So maybe Under Armour would do something with the foam, or they'll make other changes. But again, I haven't played in the mid, so all I can talk about is how these shoes perform. So just going over like some initial impressions, just looking at the shoe out of the box, it's very much like a running shoe. And what I mean by that is you have a lot of these, like, I don't know what the material is, but you have a lot of these like kind of patent leather looking panels and overlays, whatever you want to call it. And I think there's some, I don't think this is suede or nubuck, but it's some kind of, it's similar to that, and it's like this artificial material, synthetic, that's the word, I'm sorry, it's a synthetic material. And you have all these overlays that kind of lock your foot in. There's a shot of this side, and then you can see the inside part of the shoe there. And in between those areas, you have these softer mesh areas. So it's very much like a running shoe in that sense, where these areas are very soft and they have a lot of give. Okay, they're very pliable, whatever you want to call it. You can just really, they're very not too thin, but they aren't as solid, nearly as solid as these panels here. Okay, so it's very much like a running shoe, where you have these overlays and layers that help to keep your foot in place, and then you want areas like this to be more flexible, and so your foot can bend, and you're not going to have to worry about any being too confined or restricted or tight or anything like that. So the difference obviously between running and basketball, running, you're just going unilaterally, you're just going straight forward, and you're not going to be cutting or jumping or spinning or backpedaling or any of these things that you'll do in basketball. So the concept that they applied to the shoe is very interesting, but they did it in a way that really works. Okay, so to me, it's a really a novel idea, especially coming from a company that's still establishing itself in basketball footwear. The idea is it's pretty gutsy to me, because a lot of things could have gone wrong in the design and execution of this shoe, but to me they just perform really, really well. So I think it's an interesting thing to point out there. So that's a little bit about the appearance. You do have some details here. These are the showcase editions that I think high school players wore sometime last year, and they re-released again on Eastbay and Dick's Sporting Goods, so I was able to get a pair finally. They have the Anatomix on the toe cap engraved in the rubber outsole, Okay, hopefully you can see that. This is on my phone, so it's not like a high resolution camera or anything. It's on both toe caps. You have the Showcase logo on the tongue, and then there's a micro G, labeling on the heel there portion. Okay, and that's the outsole there. I'll talk about all these things in more detail. For those of you who might care, on the insole, you can't see it anymore. There was a like sticker that said like Showcase, sorry, let me get the laces out of the way. That said Showcase. It's completely gone. It disappeared on the first wear, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why they put it there, but I would have preferred, just to save some money on the cost and retail price, to not have it there, because if you're gonna wear these, they literally just disappeared after the first wear, so first game even. So I know some people are into collecting and they appreciate that, but to me, if it's not gonna be part of the ink on the actual insole, to me it's kind of useless. It's just gonna fall right off and disintegrate. Anyway, so that's a little bit about the smaller details on the shoe. I know people are interested in that. First impressions, before I even played in the shoe, just putting them on, they fit snug overall. They kind of wrap your foot, and the heel to me was slightly elevated. So some shoes, maybe like the Kobe 8, they're more level from back to front, kind of flat. The heel portion in these to me were slightly elevated, and I like that in a shoe. I just think it promotes better heel to toe transition. So, and again, if they feel natural underfoot, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, and these feel pretty natural underfoot, so just something to be aware of. In terms of performance after playing, we'll go over several topics here. First of all, the fit. Somebody asked me if these run true to size, if they could go half down, because he heard from other people that there's some dead space in the toe box. I would not go half size down in these. I think there are some shoes that, to me, they clearly have to go half size down, like the Jordan 28 SE, maybe even the Adidas Rose 3. There are some shoes where you're kind of on the border. You're like, do I need a smaller size? I tried on the Nike Hyper Rev. That's another example where I think going down to half size, if I'm even thinking about it, I probably will. I'm not even thinking about going half down in these when I tried them on. Now there is some space here in the toe box. People like to call it dead space, and this mesh area, it's gonna fold over when you're running and you're doing your toe offs and things like that. It is going to fold over. It doesn't cause any pain or discomfort. Again, it's very soft and flexible material there. So, but that might make some people feel like they have to go a half size down. I never understood the reasoning behind going a half size up because you have wide feet, because that changes the length of where your toes are going to reach the toe cap. So I never understood that concept. I think if your feet are too wide for the shoe, they're just too wide for it. Going up a half size to me doesn't really, then you're making your toe offs less efficient, because now your toes are further back in the shoe. So anyway, that's the reason why I wouldn't go a half size down, even though it is a bit loose up here when you put the shoes on and you're moving around. My toes are almost close to the end right there. So if you go, again, the best thing you can do is just try the damn things on. But if you don't have the opportunity to try them on, I personally would not go a half size down. But again, it's fit is very subjective, and that's going to be different for everybody, right? So again, my perspective or my opinion, they are true to size. So let's talk a little bit about the traction and the outsole design. And if you look at this outsole, it looks pretty crazy. They're called the Anatomix, right? So it's designed to kind of mimic your foot and work with you. Traction is good. I would say it's pretty good overall. It's not the absolute best traction that I've ever played in, but I have absolutely no complaints. I can move how I want to, I can cut how I want to, and it just covered me in every single movement. And I think it was just fine. It was dependable. There's nothing bad to say about it. If you look at this outsole, it's nice and rounded. Okay, I like the design. It has you can see like these like cutouts and this coring that they did, and I think that helps to save the weight. And a big chunk of the heel portion is missing there too, right? So it is nice and rounded. You'll notice a couple of things. There is no obvious outrigger with this shoe. It's just rounded. I don't know if I can get the angle to show you. So there, like if you look at a Kobe 5 or 6 or like even the 8, you know, they have this kind of outrigger that sticks out and it's like a flat edge, right? This is just pretty much round the whole way through, so there's no, you know, clear outrigger on either side. I think that's fine as long as the shoe is well balanced and it's wide enough, and you know, it has a good feel underfoot, so you're not going to be tripping over yourself. So again, there's no outrigger if that's a concern for some people. It does wrap up in this side as well as the medial side. Sorry, it's bad angle. It does wrap up a little bit, and I like that, just, you know, just to help with the extra grip there if you're going to do certain movements and toe offs and things like that. So it does wrap up to cover you for those types of movements. And I think the traction again is very solid. You have whatever their version of, you know, the shank plate or whatever you want to call it, like Adidas torsion system. This is, you know, designed to keep your foot where it's supposed to be, and it helps with the springiness and the responsiveness. I guess it's just, you know, TPU or some kind of plastic, and it does its job. You know, it's obviously it's not one solid plate, but it's a bunch of little strands, or, you know, whatever you can call this. I guess that's supposed to mimic like the tendons or ligaments in your foot. But it does its job. You know, you can feel it working, and it bounces back and it comes back to you. So that's their version of whatever you want to think of as like a shank plate or a torsion system. So that's a little bit about the bottom. Again, I think traction is very good overall. The weight overall is pretty good. It's on the light side, and I hope it will be because it's a low top, right? They are heavier towards the bottom. Like this part here is obviously the heavy part of the shoe where all the cushioning is, and I think the heel is easily the bulkiest part of the shoe. It is pretty substantial, and you know, it helps a lot with the cushioning, but it is easily the bulkiest part of the shoe. And I wouldn't say that they're clunky or anything like that. I think they feel pretty good underfoot, but in terms of like the size and space and weight, I think this area is where most of the weight is for the shoe. But overall, they're well balanced, and I don't have any complaints there either. So transition is pretty important to me because I like to get out and run a lot. I don't know why, but I like these better when I'm bringing the ball up court. That sounds really selfish, but it's just more fun to me playing them when I'm bringing the ball up court at my speed, whether I'm going as fast as I can or, you know, mid speed or whatever. Just running all out like a forward would do, just to, you know, go on the fast break. I don't like them as much in terms of the transition when I have the ball in hand for some reason. Maybe because I'm lower to the ground, and you know, you have to be more aware of the ball. But just running flat out, transition is okay. It's not the best I've ever experienced, but it's not bad either. So no complaints there, but it's not the best experience that I've had. So that's a little bit about the transition. Ventilation, I didn't notice any problems, and honestly, I don't think I've ever played in a shoe except maybe the Jordan 20, where I really noticed my feet were like sweaty soaked at the end of playing. So, you know, that's just me. Your feet are gonna sweat, you know, if you're playing ball and you're wearing socks. They're gonna sweat no matter what. And I don't think I've ever played in a shoe where the ventilation was so good that I just thought, oh my god, like I've never had this experience before, you know. So this is just like any other shoe. The ventilation's fine to me, no complaints there. So I hope that covers, I think that covers everything, right? Yeah, talked about the fit, the traction, the weight, transition, ventilation, and a couple of final thoughts. Obviously you can see the box here. It came with an extra set of purple laces, right? The value to me is a very good deal. I really like the value of these shoes because retail price is $100, and you can use coupon codes. I don't know about this colorway, but other colorways are still available. You can use a code to get like 20% off, $25 off, you know, so you can get them for like $75, $80. And to me, that's just a very good deal. When I hold them in my hand and I play in them, you know, they feel like $100 shoe should feel. They feel like quality shoes, you know. And this is no knock on other shoes that are costing more money, but if you look at like the Kobe 9 or the KD6 Elite, these recent releases, you know, the Kobe 9 is $160 retail, $20 more than the Kobe 8, right? And the KD6 Elite is like $200, and Nightwing did a review on those that highlighted there's still some problems with that shoe, you know. And if you're paying $200 for a basketball shoe, I mean, I think the expectation is pretty high, and the shoe shouldn't have any issues. You shouldn't have anything to complain about. So, you know, just to put things in perspective, you could get 2 pairs of these for $80 each, or 1 pair of Kobe 9s. And I saw the Kobe 9s, and I do want to get a pair, but not for $160. Just holding it in hand and looking at some of the issues that people have had already. The Kobe 9 EM, by the way, the low top, not the elites. You know, I don't know if the value is there. You know what I mean? Like, it's $20 higher, and it doesn't seem like they added a whole lot of new tech that justifies the price increase. Whereas a solid performance shoe like this, you know, you can get for $80, and they just, you know, they perform well, and I think they're going to be durable. And sorry about that, the video got cut off there. I accidentally pushed the record button. Sorry about that. So just to go back to the durability, one thing I should say is I don't know how long these would last outdoors, and I think that's been covered in other videos. The rubber is pretty soft, and the grooves here, the traction grooves, are pretty thin. So if you're going to be playing in these outdoors only, I don't think they're going to last very long. I play primarily indoors, so for me that's not going to be a problem, but I know a lot of people like to hoop outside, and again, just if you do, I wouldn't expect these to last too long with the material and the softness and the design of the outsole there. So again, the value I think is good. I'm sure if Stephen Curry gets his own shoe, you'll see a price hike. You know, that's something about people's signature shoes, right? They can make money, so they're gonna charge more. Like that's what happened with Kevin Durant, right? His shoe started off at like $85, and they were performing really well, and he wanted to keep his line affordable, and now you have the KD6 Elite, you know, which is $200. So, you know, give us a break, right? Like what happened with the cheaper performance shoes. Anyways, solid overall. I'm very happy with them. I would recommend them if you're looking for a good low top that performs well in every aspect. I would definitely recommend these. And if you guys have any, you know, questions or comments, feel free to ask me, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.